Before I go and dive into this demo here, I want to show you really quickly what I have inside my workbook. And what I have is I have a calendar table already created inside here, which starts on October 1st, 2017. This is because I have a calendar that I set up with Monkey Tools using a September 30th year end. We can actually see that with the start date being October 1st, 2017, and the end date running through September 30th, 2020. Now, as it happens though, this is my fiscal reporting for tax reporting, but I also work in retail. So maybe I want to put a 445 calendar next to this. Now, if you don't know what a 445 calendar is, maybe just skip this because you probably don't care. But if you do care what a 445 calendar is, you might want to know that Monkey Tools can create one for you, and it can live side by side with another calendar if you like. That's not specifically a Monkey Tools feature, that's a data modeling feature, but the interface, of course, to build this calendar easily, well, that is a Monkey Tools feature. So let's see how we can go and create a side-by-side 445 calendar to load in next to our fiscal period calendar so that we can report on either of the two different timeframes that we might want to work with. So right off the bat, let's go and take a look at this. I'm going to change this out to a 445 calendar. And the first thing we need to do is choose a valid year end. Now, one thing that I want to be really clear about with this one is that we don't actually deal with catch-up years. So this is a 445 that assumes it's a 364-day cycle that does not reset. If you do use catch-up years, unfortunately, the 445 calendar builder in Monkey Tools isn't going to work for you today. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and click on this thing here. I'm going to run this back. I'm going to grab some data in the right range just to try and get a valid year end here. My data starts in 2018. And I know that my year in 2018 ended on December 29th. So there we go. I've picked the correct year end. I've got a calendar table name here that does not conflict with my existing table of calendar. So that one's going to make it unique. And I'm going to pick the start date and the end date for my data model. Now this is going to create 3 queries to drive. This is going to create a query that represents our valid year end, as well as a start 364 for the fiscal year end and an end 364 for the fiscal year end. I'm going to choose next, and what you can see here is that unlike the other calendar variants that we also have a periodicity columns that we add. Now these are period IDs that do not reset when we roll over a year, and the whole point behind these things here is to help you work through and provide the correct values for Rob Colley's GFITW, or greatest formula in the world for 445 calendar reporting. So if you need those, they're there for you, ready to go. So I'm going to click next, and you'll notice this time here that I've also got a ton of different relationships that I can create, and this is because I have an existing calendar. Monkey Tools goes through and it looks for every single column that has a date type. Now we obviously do not want to link to calendar. We want to link to our budget date and our sales date. I'm going to hit create. And at this point, Monkey Tools will go through and it's very quickly going to spin up my fiscal start 364, my start date 364, end date 364, as well as build the 445 calendar table. Now it gives us the usual preamble here about hiding our foreign keys and setting up our sorting columns. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go and take close, and I'm going to take a look really quickly down here at the columns we have. You'll notice that there is my fiscal start is December 30th, 2018. That is one day after the end date that I chose. The start date for my earliest data here is December 31st, 2017. My data actually starts on January 1st, 2018, so that's going to make sure that it's pulled into the fold here. And my end date is going to be December 26, 2020. And because my data actually runs into 2019, this is going to capture all of that as well. So the calendar table is all ready to go. My next steps, of course, are to run into the data model. Just make sure that all of my relationships are set up correctly here. So I should be hiding the foreign keys at this point in time. I'm not going to do that so I can set myself up for my next video, but you should do that. Just right click, hide from client tools. And then if you want any sorting hierarchies, you should be setting those up by doing a sort by column. Just be aware in this case that while we can do something like this where we sort our day short column and we go and say, hey, I'm going to sort this one out by day of week, which I can find in here somewhere, day of fiscal week, that one should work for me nicely. We can't sort our month names because these ones here actually cross across multiple periods and therefore it doesn't actually make sense. So just keep that in mind as you're sort of thinking about your sorting order here, is that your Januaries and Februaries will end up in different periods because of that fact. So that's almost a sub thing towards your fiscal period ID when you're putting it on your pivot tables. But there we go. This is one of those methods you can use to create a 445 calendar using Monkey Tools. The same steps are evident for a 445, a 454, or a 544. Any of those variants, you can use this particular builder. Just choose the appropriate one from the original list. Thanks for watching this episode of Using Monkey Tools. To get your own monkey, visit our website at monkeytools.ca. Or if you subscribe to Skillwave's Self-Service Business Intelligence Academy, you'll get a free annual pro license included with your subscription. And remember, Monkey Tools was developed to support better Excel and Power BI solutions. If you want to learn how to really master these tools, you should definitely check out our full course catalog at skillwave.training.